521 at KPEL. It is Ken Romero and Dr. John. John, joining us in the studio, we've got a couple of guests from Downtown Development, Nathan Norris and Kate Durio. Good to have them in the studio with us. I was afraid we were going to do a phoner. You guys walked in just on time like I would do. So normally people are so nervous about being on. They come in like 5 or 10 or 15 minutes early. And I said, maybe they're calling. I don't know. Anyway, back to the mic. Good to have you with us, Nathan.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. What was it? Like 2 years ago, you were here in the morning with me. So when Kate probably told you about this 520, you were probably thinking, morning? You're out of your mind, right? Is that first thought came in?
No, I love the 520.
Yeah, 520.
Kate, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, 520 in the morning would not be good for you.
Yeah, that's a little rough for me.
Yeah, it'd be a little rough. All right, John, we talked to Philip Gould the other day, who is a local photographer. I mean, he's a documentary photographer, he calls himself, and he just does incredible work. He's done a lot of research into South Louisiana. So I thought, you know what, Philip and I disagree a lot politically, I bet, because of his leanings compared to mine. But we all agreed on this downtown development idea that we were not too sure about it. So, Nathan, tell us what the plan is for the area in front of the General Mouton statue. What is the plan? Is it just going to be leveled?
No, the plan has been outlined actually a couple of years ago in our downtown action plan that was approved by the city council, and then ultimately Lassant International, they're the ones who were the leaders to get funding over the past two council sessions to go ahead and improve the area, with the idea that was set out in the downtown action plan was that we needed the space to be used more by people.
Really?
And right now the space is completely underused, and we need to make that area much more vibrant by having people there.
I understand the part about making it more vibrant, but I don't see how taking green space out and putting concrete is going to make it that much more of an attraction.
Right. It's not about what it looks like, because if you're just looking at, if you take a photo, let's say, like Philip, he's a professional photographer.
Sure.
If you take a photo, well, right now it looks pretty nice because you got the grass and everything, right?
Sure.
Okay, well, the plan is the great photo would be a photo that he takes of people actually using the space. Because right now, you can't find any people in the photos he takes, right? Because that's the problem, is people like Sylvia, who owns Carpe Diem,
right.
She's very excited about the idea that we would steal the idea from one of our sister cities in France, like La Canée.
Yeah.
You know, they've got Place Bellevue, which is almost identical to what we're proposing. And so the idea is we're not paving it over like there's going to be a road there. The idea is to make it hard so that you don't get eaten by ants if you want to use the space. So you plant trees so you might have shade, which we don't have shade right now on hot days, and put lighting in there that really activates the area even after hours. So the whole idea is just to get it to be more friendly for people who want to use it.
And that's one of the things, too, like why we've been having this public process, because it's easy to get caught up in the grass is going away or that will be reduced. It's not going to wait altogether. But it's a far more informed conversation to say, well, we might be losing some grass, but we're gaining shade trees that we don't currently have. We're gaining intentional and thoughtful landscaping, which we don't currently have. There's a hedge in front of the statue, which is a defense mechanism to keep people from off the statue. It's not in any way to beautify the space. We're getting street furniture and seating so that people can actually be there and use the park. And then other amenities are going in, such as the crosswalk from Carpe Diem into the square. We don't have that currently. And, you know, this is all an ongoing process. And so if you want to have a say in that process, we're already putting input in. We originally called the place Mouton Plaza. And at a public meeting, somebody from Lafayette said, why are y'all calling it Mouton Plaza? We're Lafayette. We're more French than we are Spanish. It should be called Place Mouton. Well, that's the name of it. And that's one of the things that's actually, I mean, I think that's a benefit coming out. There was never a name for that spot before this process started. It was just where the Mouton statue is.
You mentioned previous conversations about 3 meetings have been held so far. This is the first I've heard of it. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, just like many people in Lafayette were not. And you're having the 4th meeting on next Monday, correct? No, 2 weeks from now, the 14th.
Yes.
14th. At what time will that be?
5:30.
And where will it be?
It's actually going to be at Place Mouton. If inclement weather, we can move inside of our building. But, you know, we're in that building.
Right.
So we're there more than Philip. We're there more than you, more than probably anyone else in Lafayette, other than our building, you know, shared tenants. But, we never see people there. I've tried to sit out there, and we're just looking to improve it in ways that we're getting a lot of things more than we're taking away.
Right. John, you had a question.
Yeah, I guess one of the things too, I've worked with small communities on, reclaiming green space, and very seldom do you have, the push by a community to where they lessen the amount of green space where they're long-term happy about it. What type of reaching out to citizens in the area besides public hearings? Public hearings is we check the box, but reaching out to them, because what I've found when you talk to people sort of door to door and person to person, they have a very different view than what they're willing to sort of express on the record.
We've had countless one-on-one meetings with everyone. So for level 1 is come to the public meeting. If that's an inconvenient time for you, or like you said, you don't want to publicly speak out about it, or maybe you don't feel informed enough at the end of that public meeting to really kind of provide input. We've had a dozen probably meetings in our office with one single person, or 2 or 3 people that want to sit down and understand it. And the encouraging thing for us is that after every public meeting, after all of these one-on-one meetings, and with all the board meetings with stakeholders in the downtown that we've had, that's usually the gut reaction is, well, you're getting rid of grass. And no one, I come from a family of horticulturists, my dad, my brother, everyone, so you're not going to find, I'm a Durio after all. You're not going to find someone in Acadiana who cares more about green than I do. So that's just a gut reaction. I have that reaction. If somebody talks about paving over grass. But the more you start to look at the fact that we're actually getting more landscaping and shade there, and you get better pedestrian accessibility, and it's improving businesses. What's a sign of a good public space? Users. That establishes the popularity of something and the success of a project. So, I'm excited about it, but I had the same gut reaction as most of you did. But when you become engaged in the process, we've had very little negative comments from people who have actually taken the time and put forth the effort to hear about what's actually happening and not just the grass.
In our closing moments, Nathan, the meeting is on the 14th, 5:30, right there at Place Mouton.
Yes.
And where can people see a plan of the proposal? It's on the website, correct? Or is Katie?
Yes.
You've got the answer?
Yes.
Give them the website.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's downtownlafayette.org.
Great.
And right there, the lower, you can click on it and find out about the meeting and see the plan.
Okay, great. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you for bringing this to the attention of the folks who haven't heard about it. We really appreciate it.
We'll do it again and maybe talk to you before the meeting again.